Hello, this is Maurice Parker. Welcome to the Maurice Parker channel. We talk about sports and more. I cannot wait to get into it. First of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to the Most High. Everybody else should know that we have officially reached over 20,500 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you who took time to watch my videos, to just send a like, have that subscribed, who just took this time out today, even if it was for a second. I appreciate it so much. There's a lot of great other content out there, a lot of great great YouTubers out there who have great insight. I thank you for taking time to watch my channel, our channel actually, because we all are a part of this community together, and we couldn't have done it without each other. So, week 11 of the NFL season. Let us talk about that. First, we are going to talk about the thriller between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons, who, if you didn't know, Drake London is a star in the making for the Falcons. He has brought it every single week for them. He is a great player, but has great winner route tree. He can cut inside, outside. He could catch the contested pass. Can catch the contested pass. Unfortunately, he had went down to injury. Bijan Robinson has been electric. Who could become honestly the best back in the league with the tool set that he has for the run and pass game. It went against a Carolina team who's actually been on the rise with Bryce Young, who has had a record day in Carolina Panther history, who threw for over 438 yards and 3 touchdowns, I believe. And honestly, this game went to overtime, and what ends up happening is Michael Penix gets hurt. They turn the ball over. Carolina goes down the field, kicks a game-winning field goal. For Falcons fans, this has to be upsetting because I know that they've had the talent and this has not come together. But so is life in the NFL. You do have to get ready, prepare for the next one. Also for Carolina, this has to be rejuvenated for them because uh, you know, Bryce Young came out the league in the first round from Alabama as a highly touted quarterback. One thing I think that Alabama did well under Nick Saban was that guys could get benched and stuff like that. So that prepares you in the NFL. So if you get benched, you know how to get benched, and you know how to take it when you come back in to get your opportunity. He's been more efficient. He's understanding the game now on a professional level because that's all what it's about, understanding the game and what it takes to win. And I could not be more happier for him. Moving on, we were going to talk about the two big things that happened in the NFL. And first, we're going to go about Shador Sanders coming in the second half for the Cleveland Browns after Dylan Gabriel's out the game with a head injury, concussion. Uh, Now, he did not have a really good debut. And honestly, for you guys who do not know, he is second string quarterback, but he has never taken first team reps, meaning that was the first time he threw to the first team. The line didn't know his cadence. It was set up to make him look bad in a sense because and I'm just giving my opinion. Now, maybe I could be wrong, and the Browns may not have made it, but for me, looking at the game, it looked as though he was grateful for the moment and embraced the moment. Obviously, he was very humble. Even after that, he was very humble. But now he's going to have an opportunity to start this week, actually coming up. But from the perspective from the game, as we talked about, he threw an interception. He had got sacked a few times. He did throw some nice passes, but it was hard to. It was you could tell that although he had the desire, because he hadn't practiced with those guys like with the first team, certain guys, for example, when you do your line stances, you know how certain guys like to block, pass protect, how certain guys catch the ball, how they break out their routes. And when you're seeing the field, okay, how do I throw it over here? Okay, this guy likes to cut in a second earlier. Then okay, this guy likes to take his time when he cuts out. So things like that can very much help you so much. Um, but I think he'll be better as a pro athlete and that. And Miles Garrett has been unleashed this whole year, 13 sacks. He has been absolutely dominant defense, and also should be the defensive player of the year because of what he does every week in week out. And I think he does a great job this year. He has been the best defensive player this year, and rightfully so. Um, Now, mind you, he he doesn't get as nearly as chip block as his competitor in the AFC North, TJ Watt. But regardless, he moves around a lot, and he has done amazing. And that's not to say that taking nothing away from what TJ Watt or anybody else has done on the team, but he's done amazing with our team. But Miles Garrett has been amazing this year. Speaking of which, we're going to go into the the Ravens end up winning that game. Actually, sorry, by the way, Derrick Henry ran it. It was 23-16. The Baltimore moved to 5-5. Now, prior to that game, we have another it's an interesting scenario between the Steelers and the Bengals. Now, this game was taking place in Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers had to do a touchdown early to Kenneth Gainwell. The Bengals had scored their own touchdown to T. Higgins. Aaron Rodgers sets his Steelers up for another touchdown. He actually hurts his wrist, falls on it. It is fractured. Mason Rudolph comes in to relieve. Uh, to relieve Aaron Rodgers. Joe Flacco throws a pass across the middle. Is about to get sacked. It gets picked off by Kyle Duggar, who takes it back, pick six. Um, Still, Mason Rudolph throws another passes the ball to Darnell Washington, who is 6'7", 311 pounds. He's number 80 for Steelers. You did not know. Does not get brought down easily. 3-4 breaking massive tackles. They did a screen in which it hit to Kenneth Gainwell, and I think the frustration started to boil over between Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen Ramsey is one of the best trash talkers in the game. If you know that's his game, sometimes it's a mental edge too. What ends up happening is something that I could not have predicted in the game. I mean, there was skirmishes between him and Ramsey, but during a 4th-and-1, a fight breaks out between Jalen Ramsey and Jameer Chase. We later find out that throughout the game, it was very slow, but you could see that there was spit. Yes, Jameer Chase spits in the face of Jalen Ramsey, and you're wondering, well, how can that happen when the face mask there's open spots in the face mask, and he takes time to spit. He and Ramsey, as any person would, was disrespected, and he fought to a punch. And I know people would say, "Oh, well, you got to control your emotions," which you do, but I would implore you guys, in your opinions, this is just my opinion. When you spit at somebody, you're telling somebody that they're lowering their dirt, and that is not to be tolerated. And anybody who has respect for themselves would not want to be treated in that way. And what made it worse is Jalen Ramsey, Jameer Chase did not fight back. He did not tell the reporters truthfully that he did it. But I will not try to. I will try to say that he can grow from this moment. Jameer Chase got suspended for the next game, although he wanted the league to suspend Jalen Ramsey, but they wasn't going to do that because they had ejected Jalen Ramsey. And then when they found out that he had spit on him, they had to make uh they had to make an example that this would not be tolerated, because earlier in the year, if you remember on this podcast and probably a whole around also the great YouTubers too talked about this, Jalen Carter and that Prescott they caught Carter, and he got ejected out the game. He was not suspended for the next game because he was actually technically suspended that game. He didn't even get to play a snap in the opener. So, with that being said, you know, Jalen Ramsey will be back for the next game for the Steelers. The Steelers win 35-14. The last big play happened when Noah Fant fumbles the ball. Well, honestly, I would want Jameer Chase to just grow. He has never done that before. I don't think he will do that again. I don't think. I will want him to do these teacher moments to know that that's not acceptable or tolerated. You can never let somebody, even if they get to you, never let your emotions dictate. Always have to be in control of your emotions, because the actions that follow, there's always choices and consequences. The next game we're going to talk about was between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park, in which the Buffalo Bills won 42-33. Josh Allen It's something that he did twice. He had three passing touchdowns and three rushing touchdowns. He did it last year in the game against the Los Angeles Rams in the loss. The only other quarterback to have done that besides him, NFL player to have done that besides him was one Otto Graham. If you don't know, Otto Graham was the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in the 1950s. He had 1 to 10 straight championships when it was called the NFL championship game before it was called the Super Bowl. He was a great quarterback who should be respected of that era at that time. And that is one thing I will say about that. Another big thing I will say is that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos played at Vesco Field at Mile High Stadium. Now, this game was interesting because those two teams are rivalries. The Chiefs were coming in this game 5-4. Uh, the Broncos was coming into this game 7-2. Now, the Denver Broncos last year was very close to beating the New England Patriots. I'm sorry, not New England, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. They got blocked on the field goal last year. So this time they played. It was back and forth. Mahomes was hit a lot in this game, as you probably seen with Buffalo. He had threw an interception. He had thrown a pass to Travis Kelce. To congratulations, one of the greatest tight ends to have played the game. He had 84 career touchdowns, which gave him the all-time touchdowns for Kansas City. Congratulations to him. During this game in the fourth quarter, it was 1 minute left. The Chiefs scored the field goal. It was 16-16. Or not, sorry, 19-19. The Denver Broncos drive down the field, and it's a 50-yard field goal with 3 seconds left. And Will Lux drills this field goal, and I think this was really telling win for the Broncos because the Chiefs, mind you, have besides going to the Super Bowls, have won 9 straight divisional. They're the AFC West, titles. So what this did was it was really much so crushing because at 5-5 and with the Broncos moving up 8-2, it'll be very hard to catch up. Not impossible, but this might be very telling of the season. One more game I will talk about. 2 more games was between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers, in which Jacksonville just completely blew out the Chargers. It was 35-6. Travis Etienne had a big day, and nothing seemed to go well for the Chargers in that game. Jacksonville very much so was in control the whole game. You had to move on for the next one if you're the Chargers, and hardball. You guys got to get ready to the next one. Because sometimes that's what happens in this league. Sometimes all games are close, and sometimes you got to get ready to look forward and move on to the next one. The last game we're going to talk about was between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. This was the first game without Keon. Keelan. Sorry, Marshawn Keelan. Sorry, that's his name. Marshawn Keelan, who had tragically passed away last week at the age of 24. He wore number 94 for the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, that number was very symbolic. It was worn by their greats like Charles Haley and DeMarcus Ware. But this was their first game. The Cowboys, the first game they had to play without him. And even though the Las Vegas Raiders even had the moment of silence for him, it was tough. The way in the first game with Dak and all of them, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb was not out at the first series. Coach's decision. But they got to the next series. Dak Prescott those. I think he threw a touchdown to Pickens, Lamb, Scootermaker. I think Ferguson. I think Williams got a touchdown on the Ferguson. They intercepted Geno Smith. They did a also well good job of just playing rallying around their emotions, knowing that their teammate was with them in spirit. There's no roadmap for that, and I was proud to see men in no matter what era it is to compete. It's like it's a brotherhood when you are in connection, whether you are rivals on different teams and you play for one league or organization. It's special to see people come together for moments bigger than that. I want to say thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. You guys have done an amazing job supporting this channel and growing. I want to thank everybody, young or old, just to take time out today, family, friends, everybody's taking time out today to watch the channel grow. I would not have expected a year ago to have gone from 43 subscribers to 20,500 subscribers. That's just truly remarkable. And I respect all these people. I respect you guys. And I want to say this one thing. This is spread positivity before we end this channel. Is that any great athlete, any player could play in any era because humans are some of the most adaptable people. Let us continue to grow and build each other up, regardless, young or old. I want everybody to continue to uplift and build each other up because that is what it is about. You don't get to decide what era you're in. The only you or the rules that adjust in that era. The only thing you could do is move forward and get wisdom and talk and coach people up because that's the beauty about life. You're supposed to keep growing, supposed to keep driving for your goals. You're supposed to keep doing things to continue to develop as a person and carry those traits to help people grow forward and not go back because you can only do what you can do on this time in your era. Let's continue to be great. I thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video of the Maurice Parker channel.